In the previous episode, I completed my 14-day passage from Mauritius to Richards Bay and enjoyed 3 days there before the next weather window of predicted northeast winds opened up to begin our coastal passage around to Cape Town. The first leg was a long 90-mile day sail to Durban. Well, I left Richards Bay this morning at 3 a.m. Had to motor out, and now it's 6:30. We're still motoring, but you can see the breeze on the water, and it's from the northwest at the moment, but it's going to swing around to the northeast and crank really hard. The land is awfully far away now, probably 10 miles or so, and we're going out a little bit into the ocean, but not much. This is just a straight coastal run. For now, I've just got the jib up, and you can see that we are, what we are, effectively on a broad reach. Alright, now it's noon, and we are rocketing along. Still got the full jib, but that's going to have to start getting filled soon. We're doing 7-8 knots, which is about our limit in terms of hull speed, and so don't want to overstrain things. But yeah, the wind's come in really nicely. There's going to be no need for the main, so I left the cover on. And it's going to be hard to see, but way over there is the coast. We're just passing the mouth to the Drakensberg River. That's the halfway mark. So should be in by sunset, hopefully. Should be really nice. Have some dinner in Durban. Here's the chart showing we were halfway between Richards Bay and Durban, doing 7 knots. Got 2 turns on the furler because it was getting a little out of control, but we're doing 6 to 7, which is fine. Get in before sunset at this rate. Just show you the wind pilot working really hard to keep us under control. Sometimes it comes all the way up, and sometimes it goes all the way down. She's doing a great job so far. We've yet to broach. Excellent. Just an hour later, around 1 o'clock, the wind was blowing close to 30 knots, and we were down to perhaps 1/5 of the jib with fairly large seas. But I realized that I was slowing us down too much, making it hard for the wind vane to steer. It requires speed through the water to work effectively. Another 2 hours later, and that sail was too small. So I've made the jib just a little bit bigger, and that has really stabilized things nicely. We're doing 5 to 7, and the wind pilot is much more able to handle it. The waves are getting quite big. But we're rocketing along. This is great. We don't think we're going to beat sunset into Durban, but we're going to try. Yeah, it's all on here now. That wave wanted to break. It did a little bit. It just crested. This next one is going to break right on us. Just nice little surf. Another one. These are all new waves, so they're short, sharp, steep. 14 miles out of Durban, we entered the minefield of anchored ships waiting to enter the harbour. At least they were not moving, so we just had to avoid them. By now the wind was dying, as the high pressure generating this northeast wind was already moving off to the east. So I progressively unfurled the jib, but by now the sun was already low to the horizon. So it was clear we would not get in before dark. It's now 7:30 and it's almost dark, and I'm approaching Durban Harbour, but there's a monster car carrier exiting right now, so I have to stay out of the way until it is gone, and then I can go in. And there's Durban. Skyscrapers, hotels, and offices, and apartments, and everything. Well, that was quite quite something coming in. Had to wait for a car carrier to go out. Here's their leading lights. I'm off course now because I'm turning into this channel, which is going to take me to the marina where I have a slip, and Christoph on Timbers, he is waiting for me. Without reverse gear, it was a little daunting coming into a slip, but like at Richards Bay, Christoph was ahead of us and kindly caught our lines to stop us. And here we are in the marina in Durban Harbour, zoomed right into our slip. Oh, Saturday morning. It's November the 16th, and I'm in Durban. Oh my goodness, that was one hell of a day trip yesterday. 90 miles, starting at 3 a.m, getting in at 9 p.m, average of 5 knots. I was pretty proud of it. And this is the marina at Durban. I think this is shared between Point Club and some other club, which is kind of a weird setup. As usual, there's an amazing variety of boats. This is an absolute monster here. Oh, I can't imagine having a boat that big and having to deal with everything. Fontaine Peugeot over here, squeaking away. Actually, it's the joint between these panels and the pontoons. And we are right in downtown Durban. Look at that. Pretty noisy last night, the Friday night. I was so tired, I had no trouble sleeping. And as usual, I'm up 4:30 for the dawn, which will be in a little while. Bunch of boats moored here, as usual. A lot of them derelict. Seem to be a lot of liverboards as well. Eventually the sun did rise, here behind Tin Lizzie, and OVNI 385, which is inevitably faster than us, but Christoph sails her well too. But Sea Change did a very good job at this passage as well. This is the Point Yacht Club, which was convenient for breakfast, and on the other side of the marina is the Royal Natal Yacht Club, where we ate dinners. To my amazement, there was a Goliath heron on the roof, and later it stalked the mudbanks. There is also a Sea Scout troop here, which is how I got my start sailing in East London. And on the quarantine dock, I found Nick's boat Drak, also having arrived on Friday night direct from Mauritius. So Nick and Christoph joined me for breakfast, followed by a stroll along the beachfront. The next day we drove a rental car to the Drakensberg, or more precisely the foothills known as the Underberg, on a blue sky day to visit the Camberg Rock Art Centre. This is Camberg, the Rock Art Centre, and wow, the setting here. There's the real berg at the back, but this is the foothills, and it is just gorgeous, and what a day we have. Absolutely amazing. And here's Christoph and Nick, who have come along with me. Excellent. We're hiking up here. It's 1.5 hours. We're going to go way up the top to the cave. It's called the Game Cave. And this is Raphael, our guide. It is always nice to see our national flower, a protea, along the way. The shelter cave is high up at the base of the cliffs above us, but along the way was a shallow shelter under a small waterfall, with a taste of what was to follow. And here's our trail winding up here. See, it demarcates a burnt area below from an unburnt area above. They do controlled burns. And then down, this is one of the many tributaries of the Mooi Rivier. And up here, we are already hearing thunder from this cloud. It is pretty big. Shelter Cave is protected, and it contains the most diverse and lovely paintings I have seen in South Africa. Here are just a few of them. While the main focus of the paintings was the favorite prey, the eland, there were also lots of figures, ranging from plain to rather unusual, perhaps representing a dream state, and the final massive panel was very impressive, as was the view from the cave, trying to imagine the life of the Khoisan people who ranged over southern Africa before the Bantu and Europeans arrived. By afternoon, the thunderstorm had spread and eventually caught us as we drove back to Durban. The next morning, after breakfast with the local South African delivery crew, we all set off for the sleigh ride on the Mozambique Current to East London.